Hi there, Jeremy O'Carroll, founder and director of the Fitzroy Learning Centres here. In this video, what I'd like to do is just go over some of the things to remember when reading in the classroom. Again, this is all for preparation for your upcoming test. Okay, so the first thing to note about teaching in a phonics classroom, here we're referring to a phonics classroom, is that we want kids to sound out the words. And this is really important, at least for the early levels. We're not talking about when they're in the higher levels, maybe 21 to 30, but when they're in the early levels, maybe 1 through 7, possibly even 1 through to 10, get them to sound out every word, even if they resist that, even if they tell you, oh no, I can read the words, I don't need to sound them out. Well, you want to make sure that they really can read the words and they're not just looking at the picture or remembering the story. So get them to sound out the letters, the words letter by letter. Sometimes it's going to be necessary to either get them to repeat the words as a whole or get them to repeat sentences as a whole. Now, hopefully you've been playing your goodies games. If you have, you've trained them to hear the whole word from the sounds in the word. But often with a long sentence, it's still good to repeat the whole sentence word by word so you can actually say the whole words. So you'll sound it out, k at t, s at t, o n a m at t, and then you can say cat sat on a mat, and that just aids the comprehension. We don't want any guessing in the classroom. Guessing is a terrible habit. In the Fitzroy readers, you never need to guess because all words in the readers that any child will ever come across are decodable. In other words, the child has been given the tools to decode the words, so you never need to guess. Guessing just gets them into lazy bad habits. Another important thing when you're teaching, at least a reasonably sized class, is you want to get the children to put their finger under the words as they're read out, either by you or perhaps someone else in the class, or even if they're reading them out themselves, although that's a little bit less important. Now, the reason is we want to make sure that all the kids in the class have their minds focused where you want them to be. And if they're not using their finger, then maybe you're reading out or someone else in the class is reading and they're looking at, the fly on the wall. So they're not really concentrating. So very important, get them to put the finger under the words, or in the early levels, even more importantly, under the letters. So when they're sounded out letter by letter, you're going to get the kids to put their finger under each letter as it's sounded out. Make sure your correction is gentle. What we mean by this is that, when someone makes a mistake, don't get grumpy, don't let out any of your frustration, even though you'll be tempted at times. All you need to do is gently correct them and move on. Remember, if they do something right, praise them. If they do something wrong, just gently correct them and move on. Next thing, it's really important that you enjoy reading. You've got to look like you're really enjoying yourself when you're reading, because kids will take their cue from you. So if you look bored, they'll presume reading is boring and then they won't want to participate. But if you look like you're having fun, then they're definitely going to want to join in. How do you do this? Well, one way is simply to be animated. Bring some energy to the classroom. And if you can bring that energy, they're going to feed off it and they're going to be animated too, and they're going to want to join in. Another thing to remember is just to really be present. This isn't always easy. If you've been teaching the reader 100 times before, you might be a bit bored with the story. And it's very easy for your mind to go off wandering somewhere else. But when your mind wanders somewhere else, when you start thinking about something else, then effectively your energy has left the classroom. And when your energy leaves the classroom, then the children are not going to be able to feed on your energy, and energy levels will drop, and so will their attention. So be present, keep a high energy level, and this will nourish your students and keep them interested. Okay, so that's it for reading in the classroom. Hope this was useful. Hope it helps you prepare for your exam, and I'll see you on the next video.